Welcome back to Tales from the Family, and happy Christmas and
Happy Christmas, everybody!
Cheers, everyone!
Everyone! Cheers, everyone!
Cheers.
Well, I just want to take an opportunity to thank you boys for all of the wonderful pods we've done together over the last year, all the gigs we've been to over the last year, and all the records that we shared over the last year. It's been emotional, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely emotional.
I'd also like to thank all of the people that have followed us on Twitter, that have subscribed to us on YouTube, that have watched our videos on the YouTube live channel as well, and all the interaction and chat we have through the year as well. Really, really appreciate that. You guys have been great. A couple of shout outs to some of those guys. Firstly, to our good friend Leon. So Leon, if you're watching,
rock on, man.
Cheers, mate.
rock on. A shout out to Sean Kelly. Shout out to you, Sean. We're looking forward to seeing you at the Scorps next year, my man. We're going to be there. It's going to be awesome. A shout out to the Duck that loves the rock. So a bit of the Ireland contingent here. So, well done, mate. You've been great. And thanks for reposting all of our stuff. A shout out to Claire and Gary and MMI Music Management. They've been brilliant to us this year and really appreciate your support and help. So that's been absolutely fantastic. Who could forget Roger Maybank sharing some of those brilliant photos from Milton Keynes and the trip to the garden party in MK. So really appreciated that. So thanks to those, Roger. Julian, thanks for your tips and your support. Really appreciate that too. And if you ever write another book, please feature us. We'd love that. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Or take us fishing if you ever get a chance to do that as well. Thanks to Tom and all the comments he gives. Really, really appreciate that as well. Fantastic. And there are lots of other people that repost, comment, and get involved. If we haven't mentioned you, it's not that we don't care. You just haven't tried hard enough. So please.
Not true.
On a serious note, though, we really appreciate the subscribing and it does help us and keep us going and gives us faith that anyone wants to watch it, which means a lot to us. So if you've got any friends or groups or metal groups, hard rock groups that you think might like it, please encourage them to subscribe. Failing that, just get anyone to subscribe, your mum, your dad, or anyone that you come into contact with.
Dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'd appreciate that. Or just sort of make up fake accounts and follow us anyway. We'd really appreciate it.
That's both channels.
Only joking YouTube. Right, okay. So before we kick off, I'm going to come to Jam. He's going to give us a bit of a reminder of some of the classic pods that we talked about before this and the ones that we really enjoyed. So over to you, Jam.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, when we were talking about the end of year review, I straight away thought of some of my favourite pods that we've done, which sounds really crazy, but for me, the Queen and Quo pod that we did, I loved every second of that. It brought back such great memories and so many comments and likes that we've had from people from that. They really, really enjoyed that. But again, it's another reason I think why another of my favourite pods, I know the lads feel this too, is the Monsters of Rock 88. It was a tricky one. We weren't sure about doing it because of a lot of the connotations that come back with the tragedy of that day. And we thought, no, we need to do it because it was a big day in rock and a big day in our lives. And it was great to do. And some of the comments and the feedback that we've had from followers and from subscribers has been out of this world. It's been amazing, really. It's been really, really touching.
Yeah, some touching stuff.
Yeah. So we really appreciate hearing back on that. And I know a lot of people have found that a really great pod to watch and be able to look at and to help them get through certain things. So that meant a lot, I know, a lot to us. On the reverse side, back to Dear Matrona. A little bit out of kilter perhaps with a lot of our stuff, but we did a couple of Dear Matrona specials. And I love shining a light on new rock and new metal. I just love new music. And Dear Matrona are really pushing it forward for women in rock as far as we're concerned. And they haven't even got an album out yet. But we caught them up quite a bunch of times this year and it resonated with a lot of people. So again, real favourite of mine. And I think the other one for me, of our 30 plus pods that we've done in this first sort of 9-10 months was the Hard Rock Hell, the Burnt Out Rock connection, basically. Burnt Out Wreck, sorry. My Burnt Out Wreck connection.
Burnt Out Rock.
Ron, what are you drinking?
Yeah, exactly. I'm fully on it.
There's loads of vodka in that, by the way, people.
The burnt out wreck, the burnt out wreck connection. We did our first interview with Gary Moat, and then they kindly invited us, and we went to cover the Hard Rock Hell event at Great Yarmouth, and it was fantastic. And we were able to see a lot of new bands, Quiver, the Hot 1-2, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Midnight Devils. So some real great acts there that we really enjoyed, and we got to chat to a lot of those guys. But we also did our first band interview, and we really enjoyed that with Burnt Out Wreck. So
yeah, hasn't Gary been so welcoming to all of us? Yeah,
he's
just been so cool.
Yeah, and Claire
really felt at home in his presence, and the rest of the band. To be fair, it's been absolutely brilliant. We loved every minute of being with them and seeing them live for the first time at Hard Rock Hell. It's been fantastic.
Yeah. So pod-wise, some great pods. They're well worth a revisit, I'd say, from anyone. And the great thing is now that we've bought the Tales from the PowerAge live channel fully into focus, is that you can watch our pods, watch our interviews, especially if we've done a Tour Talk special or something, or like then get straight over to our sister channel for the Tales from PowerAge live, and then watch the videos.
See a couple of live tracks.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Thanks, Jam. Any other pods that stick in your mind, Gaps? Anything that you remember?
Well, I'd automatically go along with Jamo with the 88 one. It was a very emotional one for me because of what I went through. Obviously not as bad as what a lot of people went through, but it was a day in my life that I'll never forget. And I really enjoyed shining a light on that day. I mean, there was some great music, but it was just out of this world. And I think we've touched a few people on what we went through and what they went through, and we've had some great comments on that. And hopefully, some people may have found a bit of solace in what we've put down on tape, and hopefully, it helps a lot of people. It was just one of those days, wasn't it? It'll never ever be out of my memory ever.
Right, Gav. Any pods that come to your mind?
I think all the Doningtons, all the Monsters of Rocks. I love doing the artwork for them, and I think everyone that was our sort of age has been to some of them, if not all of them. So that kind of resonates. And there's so many people say in the comments, that how in line what we did was with what they did, and all the
absolutely,
yeah. This was the first one I was driving to, and all that kind of stuff. It's great. We started this for us, but also to try and find some kindred spirits, that were maybe our age, or ideally reach some younger people and some international people as well. But the kind of music that came out when we were kids, we were so lucky. The kind of tours. You look at the gigs we went to, and over a month, the kind of bands we saw at the kind of venues we saw, it's bloody brilliant. So we're just trying to share that. We're not trying to gloat. We're just saying, wasn't it bloody fantastic? And the fact we're all still together, still talking about it now. This is a moment in time where we can, enjoy too.
Before we go any further, I'd just like to say a big shout out to Gav and Dill, who do most of the work for this stuff. Gav does all the hard work. Dill does all the talking work, and he puts his stuff down. He presents everything, and both of you have been amazing. And
Twitter's everything.
We certainly couldn't do it without you. And I think me and Jam are just a bit along for the ride sometimes, but especially me. But
I think we're called Eye Candy, but I don't know. Comments below.
Well, we've got the metal air, haven't we? So
kind of.
Anyway, thanks to you guys. Without you, it would not be any good. So well done.
Even better if you have to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Subscribe quick.
Yeah. My memory for the year is just a simple one. It's been great to spend time with my best mates who I've known over 40 years, and what a brilliant way of doing that. So, if nothing else, this pod gives us a reason to get together every week and have a chat and just talk nonsense.
Absolutely, it's been immense.
What more could you want, right? So, if we bring a little light into your lives or make you chuckle a little bit, then hopefully we're doing a good thing. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to just talk about some of the highlights from 2023, and do you know what? I'm going to kick off. So I'm going to swerve ball this, right? So I'm going to talk about some of the highlights. Now, the highlights can be It can be a new release. It can be a new band you've seen. It can be a reissue in terms of getting that lovely piece of vinyl that you've coveted for years and suddenly it's been reissued in 15 different colors that you've just got to get hold of. It can be an event that you've been to. It can be a festival, etc. So it's a bit of freestyle there. So I'm going to kick off with Metallica. And Metallica were amazing at Download, right?
They were
brilliant. And me and Gaps were lucky enough to be probably on the third row, I think, weren't we? We were pretty close.
Well, but yeah, by the end of the first song, we were anyway.
Yeah, it was really funny. I think we might have mentioned this. We were talking away to each other. We'd seen Alter Bridge, and it's been a lovely day. The weather had been incredible, and for the first time in about 5 years, we'd only gone for the day. I mean, we for a number of reasons, but we rocked up. We parked at the airport. We'd had a chilled out day. We'd watched a few of the bands. Really enjoyed Alter Bridge, and then we were talking to each other, saying, "It's been pretty mellow, hasn't it?" I said, "Do you think? I think it's going to be quite chilled out for Metallica. What do you think?" And he was like, "Well, I'm not sure." Anyway, as soon as Creeping Death started, it was absolutely nuts, as you can probably imagine. So it did bring a smile to my face that it was a little bit like what it was like in the old days, without all the worry, etc. So that was brilliant. The gig was amazing, start to finish. The whole setup was incredible. The kit that they brought with them in terms of those towers with the video screens on them, it's just
never seen anything like it. It's amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. And to be, I don't know, 10 yards from Lars and Kirk and James, it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. We were banging our heads with the best of them for 2 hours. It was super. Also with Metallica, I went to the pop-up in East London. So there were two bits to that. One bit that was amazing, I picked up a CD that was mega rare, only 200 copies, which Gav and I own each. He was phoning me while I was there. Get what you can. I just missed out on getting a signed album, which
a collector.
Yeah, would have been amazing. So that
Still
was
great deal. I haven't sold it yet. Tempted.
No.
I would be showing it. Honestly, I haven't sold it.
Oh no, you haven't, have you? Oh God.
Not yet.
And of course, the album as well, which I think is an absolute stone cold classic heavy metal album. Brilliant. So some really great songs on. He really hasn't got that CD as well. I'm worried now. So yeah, Metallica being the first one. The second one for me. Oh, I need to grab this as well because it's really important. Hang on. Kiss, End of the Road. There you are. There's the. Have you ever seen a program that thick?
Mad.
It's ridiculous. It's massive. So I was lucky enough to go to, and if you look back at some old pods, I was lucky enough to go and see Kiss at the O2. I had the sound check ticket and then the evening. So I saw Kiss twice in one day, which is amazing. Absolutely brilliant.
And that's on the channel. That's on the live channel.
Yeah. Loads of I've got loads of stuff.
Yeah,
on the
some
live
great
channel.
stuff on the live channel for that actually.
And the full sound check, which was brilliant. I got a whole pile of plectrums. There's one of the balloons, which great. And the tour de force, of course, Gene Simmons' towel, which I may have shown before. But I love that. It's absolutely brilliant. He's got some makeup on there.
Got some makeup on it. There it is.
Promise you,
pop that on.
Supposed to be makeup anyway.
I promise you that's makeup. So that was brilliant. It was just a super experience. They played some really rare stuff in the sound check. Front row, met Doc McGee as well.
Should have had in there though.
It would have been great. Of course it would have been. It'd been amazing. But do you know what? I loved it. It was superb. Next one. Foo Fighters' new album. Big Foo Fighters fan. You're always worried how it's going to turn out. Whilst Joss Freese has joined the band, Dave did the drumming on the album. And it's just a homage to Taylor. And the first time I listened to it, you can't not have a tear in your eye. The song after song, remembering Taylor, and just it's like well, I don't know what can you say. It's a real tribute to Taylor Hawkins. Again, if you've not listened to the album, got it. Just don't get distracted. Put it on and just listen to the lyrics and just listen to the pain in his heart as he sings through each of the songs. I think it's a super album, and I'm super excited to see them again next year at the Olympic Park. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. The next one was a live gig. So this would have been, gosh, was it April? I can't remember, maybe March. But this gig had been delayed by about 3 years because of COVID. So it'd been on, it'd been off, it'd been on, it'd been off. And it was the final ticket I had left from all the stack of COVID tickets that I had. So they've been picking them off one by one over the course of that sort of last year and before. And this was Blackberry Smoke at the Roundhouse. So I've seen them many, many times. And again, right down the front. So me and Gaps were probably 3 rows from the front. If you want to go to our live channel, there's some brilliant videos from that gig, 2 or 3. They were absolutely, for the want of a better word, excuse the pun, smoking. They were awesome. They sounded musically amazing. They were just brilliant. The soul of that band just rocks through you. And I Gaps, you were there as well.
Yeah, it was one of the best live shows I've ever seen. I told you that night it was amazing. They're not the band I listen to on record. I don't particularly like listening to them on record, but seeing them live, what, twice, maybe 3 times now. But that just took the biscuit. It was amazing. Honestly, everything about it was brilliant. The sound quality was brilliant. The songs were brilliant. The crowd participation was brilliant. It was just one of those nights where it took me back to the 80s, really, of being a kid again, watching them that night. It was unbelievably good.
And not a backing tape in sight.
No, none.
And we'd seen a couple of weeks earlier, I'm not going to say who they were, at the same venue, might have had a backing tape or 2 or 3.
Or 2 or 3, or even all of them.
They were brilliant. And you know, it restores your faith in live music. They were brilliant. They were absolutely fantastic. So next one, and I'm just going to read off these last few quickly. Chris Shiflett from Foo Fighters and Dia Matrona. So Jam and I went to Scala in North London, just randomly, this little gig. It was absolutely rammed to the rafters, and we got if you've ever been to Scotland before, there's like a little balcony around the sides, and we got a brilliant spot, Jan, didn't we? Watched Dia Matrona on the floor, and then got a nice spot to watch Chris and the band. And they got a bit of a country and western vibe as well. That would be fair to say, wouldn't it? It's a real sort of Californian western vibe as well. But they were absolutely brilliant, and he's when you see a lot of bands and in smaller venues, they're playing a smaller venue because they're trying to make their way and they're trying to learn their craft, etc. I mean, he was absolutely first class, the way he controlled the crowd and the girls as well.
When you've got someone that's in a big band and then they're doing their side project, you know they're going to surround themselves with proper musicians, don't you? And when you've got a band, when you've got someone like that that's as big as he is, and it's not about the pound notes or the dollars, you know he's doing it for the love of the music. You know he's going to surround himself by awesome musicians, which he had. They were they were so good, weren't they? Really great sound.
It was amazing.
And when the girls came on for the encore, it was and we could see the Dia Matrona girls at the side while Chris was playing the band. They were so into it, weren't they? It was hilarious. Then when they came on the stage, it was just like it went off. It's great.
They were going like this. You're thinking, oh God, it was such a lovely moment. Having seen the girls 4 or 5 times up until that point that year as well, so that was brilliant to see. And then finally, I have to give good old Chris Barris and the boys a shout. Nice merit sheet in the card. There's the Christmas card because I got the album on pre-order. So thanks so much for that, Chris. It's awesome. I think I've seen him 5 times or 4 times this year, and he's been absolutely superb. So he's one that really needs to have a great 24, and I'm really looking forward to going to see him again as well. He's great, isn't he? Absolutely.
Can't wait for the new album. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, a super guy. So there's my 5, a bit of an eclectic mix of almost country and western, right the way to heavy metal with Metallica. Let's see what the rest of the boys say. Let's come to you, Gav.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to bang through some vinyl highlights. Vinyl Justice. I don't know if you boys, I mean, this kind of slipped out without much.
Yeah, you got that just recently, didn't you? I didn't know it was coming out.
We didn't really talk. Well,
I went on the tour because the boys played Crawford Arms MK when the album came out, but I went on my own.
I don't know what the hell happened there. Because listening to this album, it's so evocative of the 80s in a good way, in a progressive way. In other words, they still bloody rock, and it's a bit like having all the mates back together again, you know. And the album is bloody brilliant, and I totally recommend it to anyone. And I'm gutted I didn't see him on this tour, but I'll definitely be seeing him on the next tour. You know, we used to see him at the Marquee in 85, 86. I'm pretty sure they supported Tiger Tails, you know, so it's
87, 88, 87. We saw them, I think, first time. And at the Royal Standard in East London as well.
Yeah, Walthamstow.
Yeah.
So that's a quick one.
Astoria.
There's only 500 of these, and I think they're selling out fast. So by the time you see this, I'll get on it if I were you people. Supporting another up and coming, in no way related, Ghost. Chris Catalyst. This is Chris Catalyst's latest album, Mad in England. Absolutely bloody brilliant. If you like his kind of quirky rock pop, very English, very kind of indie rock, very good. Red vinyl. This came out this year.
Is it Britpop?
From God's Own County as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Is it Britpop? Because the album before was quite Britpoppy, wasn't it?
No, it's kind of, there's lots of different styles on it. It's quite rocky. It's perfectly palatable if you're a rock fan. But there's kind of Bowie-esque stuff, because he did a Bowie covers album, which was really good. This is Ghost Phantomime, and this was
brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and the production on this I absolutely adore. This is another quick one, but I say quick one. I had it on order for about a year and a half, I think. The Wild Hearts. Now this is a tour de force. I mean, it's their second full album that the record company mucked around with. They kind of split it in half. It was supposed to be a double album. They split it in half and released half of it as Fuck You, and the other half as Fishing for Luckies. Ginger wanted it all back as one piece in the correct order they originally envisaged it. This is a triple album, and it is bloody brilliant. If this had come out as it was at the time, you know, pretty sure it would have been a big thing. And another kind of one that you boys don't even know about, Head Swim. They were a band that I knew because I worked for the record company back in the day.
Heard the name, but
this is bloody brilliant. This is it's called The Flood Live. I only got it last week, but it is a highlight of my year because it's such a great recording. And it's great that they, again, like Wolfsbane, got back together after all this time.
Where are they from, Gav?
Oh, Southern England somewhere.
Oh, they're a British band, I reckon.
Yeah, British band, yeah. There's a couple of songs on there that just rip your heart out. And there's some some metalers on there as well. From not a gig, but still metal, or associated with rock, shall we say. Went to a couple of things this year. This was the Def Leppard book launch. My spangly assistant will show you the book while I'm showing you the poster. So this was Royal Festival Hall, all of them on stage.
Size of that book. How thick's that book, Dale? Just show us how thick that book is.
It's massive.
Look at it. You can hardly pick it up, the boy.
It's only 30 quid. So if anyone wants spend their Christmas money on something, it's a bargain. Anyway, Royal Festival Hall, band were on stage, had an interviewer taking you through an hour of interview questions. Everybody got a poster and a bookmark and a book. None of it signed, unfortunately. And the highlight for me was they answered.
Somebody got a question.
Yeah. Exactly. There are only 3 questions, I think, and they're all from other far-flung countries. But mine got answered by the band, and they all enjoyed answering it, which was, how come you guys can't decide on how to pronounce Mutt Lang? Because they say Mutt Langer or whatever. And they don't always agree, even with their own band. They don't agree how to pronounce it, and they're all taking the piss out of each other and doing accents of Angus pronounces it like this and all this kind of stuff. It was really funny. And the other one, Young Frederick,
big stocky.
This was just an event at Sotheby's in London where you could go and look at all the stuff before the auction of all his gear, and it was fascinating. Loved it. I've got these for you guys. I picked a few spares up.
Thank you.
About 20 of them. But it was great. I was right next to the crown and the cloak and the gold discs and the handwritten lyrics and just the history of the world, the piano that he had in his house, and the way they presented it was brilliant. It was all free, completely free to go to.
Yeah, I knew you'd love that when that was announced.
Brilliant. Well done, Gav.
Apparently, there's a documentary on Sky called Freddie Mercury: The Auction or something like that over the Christmas period, which I will be watching.
Is that the program auction? That's quite good, isn't it? Because they've shown one of those flogging Dave Gilmour's guitars. Don't know if you've seen that one. That's brilliant. So if it's anything like that, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, they raised an absolute ton, and a lot of it's going to charity, but obviously some of it's going to his love of his life.
Excellent. Good. Jamo.
Yeah, in no particular order. Love me new music, me. But I met a band. What variety of metal are these, Gaps? Temperance?
The sort of symphonic power metal.
Symphonic power metal. I didn't have any gigs booked, and it was like January the 1st. I need to go to a gig, and Temperance playing Crawford Arms and Milton Keynes. I thought, that sounds metal. Go on YouTube, and they're whatever the Gappy said they were. Got Gappy a ticket, obviously said, you'll like these, they're metal. Went along to see them. They were out of this world.
How right you were.
It was £11 a ticket. I just wish the ticket was all you had to buy and you didn't have to support them by buying the record and the T-shirt. My sister had to get a T-shirt too. I had to buy one. And it was such a surprise. Early in the year, at the kick-off the year, and I was so happy, and they were just superb. I went along to another show, Love Rocks, in the summer. My festival of choice was Love Rocks this year. I had to get the T-shirt. And it's full of so many awesome classic rock bands. Florence Black headlining there. I met a band there called She Burns Red. They're from Scotland. They'd come down to just near Bournemouth for this festival. They stayed the whole weekend. Kept bumping into them every time I was at the bar. They're brilliant. That record is brilliant. It's very annoying because you love these people and you're in the merch tent and you have to buy their T-shirt and the record.
If you didn't drink so much, you wouldn't have to keep buying it, Jam.
Hey.
It's very frustrating. So that was fantastic. As far as events are concerned, we mentioned also. Oh, let me just grab this. We mentioned Dear Matrona pod that we did.
Oh,
yeah, another T-shirt.
Collectible.
Dear Matrona haven't got an album out as yet, but we're all quite taken with them as a band, and we wanted to support them. They've done a couple of EPs.
If you look at Jam's EPs, they're both in pristine condition. A bit different to the EPs that I've got. That he was holding for me as we went up the escalator, and he fell off the end of it and bent one of them for me. But there again, what idiot would give a drunk man some records to hold?
We did have some alcoholic refreshments, but we went to Islington to catch them supporting Chris Barris, and it was a fantastic gig. That was again another highlight, and they're really good. And yeah, we all got the records for that as well. So that's a real highlight for me, and I'm looking forward to them bringing out their actual album, hopefully in 2024. But as far as actual events are concerned, Gappy and I also took in. I didn't bring the T-shirt with me here, but Nozfest again. It's another classic rock festival, pretty much again down in Southampton. It's the second time there's an annual event for us now, second Saturday in August, and it's just full of great rock bands, Gaps, isn't it? I know it's a highlight for you this year.
Absolutely.
Really, really good. We had South of Salem there as well, which we keep bumping at the South of Salem because again, they're tearing up trees. They're doing really well. So really, really good. And just a couple of mentions of reissues. We're off to see the Darkness at the weekend.
On Friday, yeah. I've
been wanting to get hold of this on vinyl for a long, long time. They did a reissue, which makes a whole lot more sense cost-wise. So I love that. Gav kindly helped me get hold of this absolute beast of a record.
So good.
Just absolutely love it. And it's a really pretty, what colour would you say that is? Hold on. It's
gunmetal grey.
Metal grey marbled vinyl.
It's not pink then.
And of course, we saw him supporting Megadeth way back in '92.
Frilly pink.
Yeah, pink. I'm just going to say that.
This record, I happened to be in Southend on Sea, and I looked at the phone as a record shop.
Usually costs about 60 quid, that one.
And I've been wanting this for a long time, and I found it, and he was a really friendly guy in there, and it was he wanted.
Was it less than 60 quid then?
It was less than 60 quid. I was very happy. So I purchased this. It's one of my all-time ones that I've wanted to get, and getting it just feels nice to have it in your collection. Be able to put it on whenever you wish. So they were
I've been showing him mine that I bought on the day of purchase when it first came out.
It was that whole CD vinyl record.
I'll show you the CD, but I don't think we're very impressed.
No, it's a tricky thing. But they, alongside, and again, I think I'm at 4.5 mentions, but also we caught MSG a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, a couple of weeks ago, all 4 of us. And when we all get out as a 4, it's a special time. The pub's usually chuffed, but it's a special time that we can all get out. We all got to Shepherd's Bush Empire for MSG, and he had the most outstanding Robin McCauley on vocals, and it was a special treat for all of us because it was outstanding. So not only did you have a virtuoso guitarist but you had the vocals that really set it off, and that was a really, really great night.
Okay,
they're my highlights pretty much. Cheers.
Brilliant 24. Thanks, Jan. Some great memories there. Gaps.
Yeah, I'd just like to talk about a couple of the gigs that we went to. Not all of us together, but Jam's already mentioned the Temperance gig we went to at Crawford Arms. It's a tiny little venue, absolutely brilliant in the middle of nowhere, really. I mean, it's supposedly in Milton Keynes, but it's not actually in Milton Keynes. You've got to travel quite a way out of Milton Keynes to actually get to it, but it's a fantastic venue. And I was really, really surprised at how good this band were. They were so good. The backing vocals were to die for. They had an amazing French lead singer, the lady, I can't remember her name, Jam. You got her name?
Lena.
Yeah. I think you were quite impressed with her, weren't you?
I've got other records of hers now.
Yeah. But just everything about them was brilliant. The backing vocals were amazing. Your sister absolutely fell in love with them as well. It was a fantastic night, and we were really, really surprised at how good it was. But the absolute highlight for me this year was, Dill's mentioned Download and Metallica, but the highlight for me was seeing Iron Maiden at the O2.
Yeah, boy.
And of course, they were going to be playing the most great song by Iron Maiden of all time, Alexander the Great, which they'd never played live before that tour. And Dan went to the bar because he doesn't like it. But for me, as soon as they started playing that, I was in absolute bits. I was in floods of tears. It was amazing. There was nothing about that gig that wasn't brilliant. I mean, the beginning of that gig where we're at the bar when Doctor comes on, we're at the bar right at the back buying a pint for £8.80, by the way, in a cardboard cup.
Unless you took your own refreshments in, and then you were fine.
Yeah. But then, of course, being the O2, they had this nice little walkway down the side, which was policed by these stewards, and we just walked straight down the front and just cut into the side of the crowd.
Piper of metal led you all on your way, didn't you? Follow me, boys.
Oh God, it was so good. The sound was amazing.
Really was.
Yannick didn't take any of Adrian's solos, which was a novelty. So that was brilliant. That whole night was amazing. It was just so good. I went to a gig recently, just last weekend actually. Me and Dill had caught Black Veil Brides at Download. It wasn't this year, was it? It was the year before. Yeah, it can't have been this year because it was the year before we saw them.
Yeah.
And I'd seen them a couple of times with my daughter about 10 years earlier when they were first starting out and coming over here. And I said to Dill, "You'll like these. These are really good." And we watched them. They were brilliant. I bought their latest album, which came out a couple of years ago. And they were supporting Hailstorm at Wembley Arena. I took my daughter again. And she was absolutely blown away because she hadn't listened to him for quite a while. She was a bit of an emo kid when she was 14 back in the day, and she said it took her back to that time when she was a teenager again, and she absolutely adored it. And I thought they were brilliant as well. It was fantastic. Hailstorm were really good as well. An excellent light show they had. Yeah. And to be honest, we go to a lot of gigs, and most of the gigs we go to are populated by people our age. Even some of the newer bands, but there was loads and loads of young rock fans watching Hailstorm and Black Veil Brides that night, and it was just a pleasure to see everyone there. There was no curtains down; it was almost sold out. It was really, really packed. It was a great night. I just can't wait for next year when we're going to see who are we going to see next year. Scorpions,
Priest,
Saxon. British Lion.
Saxon, yeah, British Lion.
Extreme.
Jam, who are we going? Jam, we've got one. We're going to Nozfest again. We've got an amazing lineup this year. Next year, yeah. Oh, what a fantastic year. Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah.
ZZ
Oh
Top.
yeah, they're Blackberry playing Hammersmith.
Yeah, so they've upgraded.
Yeah, awesome.
5,000 capacity. Next
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So metal is Blackberry Smoke aren't metal, but rock music
not
is
sure if the
coming
one
back
with-
to Hammersmith Odeon next year.
That's
Blackberry-
great.
Just
Good news.
Blackberry Smoke are 2 rock for country and 2 country for rock.
Yeah, that's pretty much
There you go.
says it all, really.
just to help Gappy out there, I think you might be thinking of we're going to see Temperance supporting
Oh,
Serenity.
of course, yeah, we're going to see Temperance again. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
A couple
can't
of
wait for that.
European
It's going to
metal
be brilliant.
As part of what Gappy was saying, we left him very much to mention Maiden because it was a fantastic event. We did do a tour talk special on it, but more importantly, is it Prisoner? I think on the live channel deal, was it Prisoner that we put on there?
There's a few on there actually. I think there's 3 or 4.
There's quite a few,
I went both nights.
Yeah, from where we're positioned, I think it's Prisoner Early Doors that you put on, and it's awesome. You'll get the feel if you go and watch that. But the other thing I know that people, just as a reminder, you need to subscribe to both separately because we run the 2 channels separate. So if you are subscribed to Tales on the PowerAge, you do need to click that. You do need to subscribe and click that Hell's Bell for the live channel as well. I think a lot of people are talking to us and saying, "Oh, I don't get notifications for the live channel," and vice versa. You need to subscribe to both. So just as a reminder.
Yeah, good one, Jam.
Brilliant,
Yeah,
well done.
mate.
We could forget Burnt Out Wreck as well.
Yeah,
So
don't forget Burnt Out Wreck.
Can't forget Burnt Out
I
Wreck.
love Burnt Out Wreck. These guys are awesome. Jammer's got the t-shirt on, which is
We all
great.
bought t-shirts.
The other phenomenon this year is buying stuff now for next year. I've never bought so many albums that I haven't got yet.
Yeah,
You know?
pre-ordering. Pre-ordering's
Yeah.
a big thing these days.
It is
It's
but
mental.
it's not good for your budgeting, is it?
No, it's not at all. South of Salem's new album, of course.
South of Salem,
coming out in
Queen.
January.
Magnum,
Yeah.
you know, that
You know
adds
that
up.
when a band goes on to Earache, you know that there's going to be a big promotion.
Yeah,
Carl-
damn right.
Yeah, they've
This
got
is
new
like-
Shout out to it. Earache are a great label for up and
Yeah.
coming bands. So
That's
really,
the most
they
listened to record of
they
this year.
really
And
do,
they've got a
do
new
the
one out.
business.
Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, I've got that as well. Very good. And the Dust Coda, they're on Earache as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, another band we saw this year. Brilliant.
Yeah, signed one. This is the misprint signed.
Yeah, I've got a signed one as well. Good. I saw Skin. How many times have we seen Skin Tread? Loads as well. Seen them a couple of times, I think,
They're
this year.
playing some massive venues.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're playing Wembley Arena, aren't they?
Wembley, yeah.
Which is cool. Played the ballroom in Margate a few weeks ago. So
Good luck to them.
excellent. Okay, good. Right. I'm just going to go around really quickly, all of you, and I want you to tell me your hope for 2024. This is about heavy metal, not whether you can get Jack Daniels for £12 a bottle. So keep it real. It's heavy metal and rock. Mine is the AC/DC announced a tour. So, Gav?
I think you might be in luck. Well, mine's very particular to this. Let's get to 1,000 subs, people.
Yeah.
on this
Please.
channel. We're
Cheers.
doing really well on the live channel. That's easy. You just video stuff and put it on. This is harder work. So I'd appreciate some
That's easy. It's
subs.
easy.
Let's take it to the top.
Anyway, Gappy, what's your hope for 24?
Well, my main looking forward to for 24 is, I mean, I didn't know the Scorpions were going to announce a tour, but they did, and we all bought tickets. They cost us about $8,000 each, and we're up in the gods. And apparently, there's no standing, which is very, very strange.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But who cares? Because if they're as good as they were in 2018, it's going to be one of the most amazing gigs you'll ever see in your life. And of course, they're playing Love at First Sting all the way through. So what's not to love?
Brilliant. Excellent. And Jamo?
I did the sums when I was doing this. I've racked up 26 gigs this year, plus the Darkness on Friday. I want to get to more if I can. I want to get to as many as I can, enjoy as many live bands as I can, and just see where that takes me.
Wow. I think you've joined with me. I think I've done 27.
Bankrupt.
I wouldn't be able to publish all mine on here though, because I went with.
No, well, that's true. But I know there's a lot I don't count, like that one I was at the other night. So I don't count the ones that are on. Anyway, that's another chat for another time. So, look, I hope you've enjoyed our little chat, our withering discussion about all the things.
Made it this far. Thanks a lot.
Made it this far. Put a bloody like on there because we need.
Yeah,
people
and a
to
subscribe.
like it.
Hit that
Gee.
bloody hell's bell.
If you've made it this far, get yourself a drink. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And cheers from us.
They're
Now-
probably about 3 in if they've got this far.
we've listed a few gigs that we're going to next year. We've been in contact with a few guys from Twitter, from X, that are going to meet up with us next year. So really, really looking forward to that. If you see us at the gigs, come and say hi. We'll have a chat. We love it. So
we'll have our t-shirts on. We'll have a t-shirt on. Come say hello.
It's great fun. We love rock music.
We're pretty memorable as well, you know.
Yeah, we are. Well, look, we love rock music, most of us anyway, and we love really heavy metal. We support. Sorry, have you got a complex? What's wrong with this?
Rolling Stones is rock. Whatever, it's rock. It's just
anyway. It's rock. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to all the stuff we got lined up for 2024. Have a brilliant Christmas, and like we've already said, thanks to all the guys. Have a great New Year. We'll see you in the new year with more heavy metal.
Metal Christmas, everybody.
Bye.